Hey, Kelsey Bell. I do believe that there is someone in the room with us that doesn't understand how the Electoral College works, but it ain't me. Lucky for you, today is a beautiful day to learn something new, and I'm giving you an opportunity to become more educated on the Electoral College, or stay ignorant. The choice is yours. And I really do hope you stick around because as an educator, it is my firm belief that education can set us free. Maybe that's just me being naive, but it keeps me hopeful, so I'm holding on to that belief. Okay, listening ears on, thinking cap on, here we go. The Electoral College is literally rooted in racism, and that should be no surprise to anyone who knows the actual history of our country. Way back yonder, our founding fathers, when trying to decide how we would elect a president, offered up the idea of a popular vote, meaning that citizens would directly vote for president and the candidate with the most votes would win. They quickly nixed that idea because it would be too much democracy. And the reason that they decided that a popular vote wasn't going to work is because the southern states felt like it would be very unfair, seeing how a third of their population were enslaved people. And you know what enslaved people couldn't do back then? Vote. The Southerners felt like this was unfair because they had less people to vote, so they wouldn't really have a say in the presidency. This then led to the idea of an electoral college where each state would have a certain number of delegates based on their population. That is why today, Texas, a huge state, has 38 electors, but Vermont, which has a less population, only has 3. Anyways, back to it. Remember that the southern states had a third of their population were enslaved people who couldn't vote, right? This is what led to the Three-Fifths Compromise, which is what allowed southern states to count enslaved people in their population numbers, despite the fact that, again, enslaved people couldn't vote. This increased the number of southern delegates by over 40%. The entire system was designed to empower white people and slave owners of the South, and it still does so today. Where do the majority of black people currently live? The South. So when they vote, typically for a Democratic candidate in a southern red state, their vote essentially is null because historically the electoral votes in southern states go to Republican candidates. Both Bush and Trump lost the popular vote, but had the most electoral votes and became president. You know what presidents get to do? Appoint Supreme Court justices. And between the two of them, they were able to appoint 5 conservative justices to the court. In conclusion, due to our electoral system, presidents who were not selected by the majority of Americans were able to assign 5 out of 9 conservative justices that do not align with the majority of the American people to lifetime positions in the highest court of the land. Seems a bit rigged, no?